Thank you for having me. I have been told that after some wonderful sessions, I have to do my session in bullet point, Twitter format, pay $8, I think, per sentence. And, talk to you all about BW Engage. I normally don't like being on stage. I prefer being in the back end. But yesterday, when I was told to come here and speak about BW Engage, I was very excited. BW Engage is our custom solutions business. So, please forgive the bragging rights, but it's something that has done extremely well for us. Let me start by what I was going to conclude. So yesterday evening, I had to leave the office early at 6 p.m. Some family-related emergency that had to be solved, something that happened on Sunday. So all of us have this habit of looking at our mail, and I looked at a mail that came in, and I looked at a couple of colleagues. One guy saw it, got nervous, and I just shut the laptop and ran. It was a confirmation of another order, okay, which would come under the experiential thing. Pre-COVID, we were doing about 2 projects a month, okay? Until yesterday evening, we were doing 13 projects. There comes the 14th project saying, and it was marked to my sales guy, copied to me, saying, "Dear Raja, we will do this in the first week of December." As they say in Hindi, now, "Phat ke haath mein aa gayi." Okay, that's the level of business we've got in experiential. Now, let me explain what experiential is to us. And I'm going to speak from the B2B perspective because a lot of this comes in the technology space, education space, healthcare, all of it. And I am not, for a second kind of saying that this is larger or this is smaller, but it's known to be my favorite in the company for some reason, though one has to look in all directions. But let's talk of COVID. Okay, when the Prime Minister announced on a Sunday in March that we were going into a lockdown, 15 days or whatever, none of us believed it. We knew it was going to be a longer lockdown, and so we clearly knew there's going to be no print, presses will be closed. These kind of events weren't going to happen. Fortunately for us, Dr. Batra said our digital is 33 million, grew in 2020. The fact is that digital grew for us we were at about 6.5 million in 19. We had started hitting about 11-12 million by Jan-Feb pre-COVID. And COVID gave us an accelerator, so digital started growing. And it kind of did well for us. We were a little lost, but we were not scared as to what would happen through COVID. We went to customers. I used to run Engage. I still run Engage. And like I said, we used to do 2 engagements. And we went to customers and said, you have to continue communicating. There is no way that, your communication stops, and we'll help you do that. And what can we do for you? And I think that was a huge turning point for us in COVID. We are a 42-year, 43-year young organization. I've kind of stopped counting, but you saw the energy here. Some of the oldest people in this company are the most energetic, okay? And it helps us kind of think. So basically customer-led thinking. So we went to them and they said, "Listen, we want to do some empathetic kind of messaging, okay? And we want to connect with people." Now, see, the companies we work with, I'll call them out also, SAP, IBM, large healthcare companies, GE, Philips, all of them, they don't need to build a brand. That's another thing. So, advertising, I fully agree with Anurag when he says print is going nowhere. It isn't. It isn't. As I walked in, there was something on the mail that came to me, and I checked, print isn't going anywhere. But a lot of these companies, the good old days, you put out a magazine, 300 page, 150 pages advertising is not happening. You need to kind of help them with their objectives. So what we kind of did is we started with the empathetic messaging. We were doing physical roundtables, but unfortunately, my name suddenly, I think last year, from becoming Hoshie Ghaswalla in the company, became RT Ghaswalla. Does anyone know what RT stands for? Roundtables. Okay. And though I'm seen as the custom guy, I don't believe roundtables is the beginning and end of anything. There is a lot of other things that we have to do. So we started working with marketeers. We started understanding what their objectives are. Okay. And our offering, so I said, forgive bragging rights. Our job is to connect people from, to their customers. So basically, the marketing landscape for B2B has shifted. It is no longer branding. Okay, so branding is measured digitally. I don't know how some of them will do measure it in print, but today, BW Engage enables the funnels and pipelines of marketing departments. We actually kind of take on the KRAs of the marketing department. If you don't fail them, they don't fail in the KRAs. They keep coming back to you. Is this wood? I hope this is wood. Touch wood, 100% of our business today is repeat business. The order that came in yesterday was closed some time ago and we were kind of slowing it down. It just kind of keeps coming into your email. You call someone, I think late last year, I was telling Anurag, November, December, when a customer called, I would get scared. Saying, yaar, ye ek aur order aa gaya hai, how do you kind of execute? That business has helped us ensuring that, we got out of COVID, digital helped us. And today has become a large part of our system. But the thinking there is very different. How do I enable my customer? How do I ensure that his sales pipeline is filled? How do I bring value to him? How do I maintain him? And the thinking is very maniacal there that you cannot, and our internal targets are the minute the customer sets a target, it is 110, 120%. So the teams, and by the way, the teams have caught on to it. Sir, aapne wahan pe to 30 bola tha, aap hame 40 kyun bolte ho? Okay. But we set up an internal target, you kind of over deliver. Now, the formats are very, very different. So, one is the roundtable format where you put 6 or 8 people together. You can do an Arnab Goswami kind of panel, which I will not moderate, but, doing 12 people. But by the way, when I'm talking of these engagements, this funnel has to be filled with C-level and C-level plus. So it is connecting your customers to their customers. Okay. Also means understanding the product and all of it. But, on the roundtable, you bring them on, the customer comes on. Now, when you talk of experience, you have to ensure the experience for the entire ecosystem is good, right? From the guy who is creating the content to the guy who's reaching out, okay? He's motivated, he doesn't say the wrong thing, to the speaker and to the sponsor. Now, very often sponsors come in and say, मुझे 10 minute का presentation चाहिए, मुझे 15 minute का You cannot bring in C-level people and have a customer pitch to them. So you integrate their content within the discussion. So, roundtables is one, we know about events, webinars, all of it. We go right from lead generation to executive engagement. Today, there's a lot of money. I'm not going to tell you how much we charge, but let me tell you, it's in thousands of dollars per single connect. Okay. It is close, so companies want to get connected to CEOs, MDs, presidents, chairmen, founders. That is one category for us. Then is the C-level. We haven't really gone below the C-level, but the idea is that the guy wants a handshake, he puts him in the funnel, he does some stuff right now. One of the, actually 3 of the 13 projects is very high level executive engagements, but you have to kind of ensure, I'm not going to give my secret sauce here, that the experience is good for every single person. What are the challenges here? The challenge here is, see, we are a media company, and it's very easy to kind of misuse your content, okay, or that platform. But the day you do it, your core audience is going to run away. Please understand that. So challenge is balancing the sponsor needs, okay, and saying, I'm not giving you a plug. The plug would be, so let's say we are interviewing the CEO of a large bank. You have the vendor sitting with you, and you speak about his challenge, what the CEO of the bank is going through, what is actually happening with him, what are their plans, and then you ask the vendor 1 or 2 questions on, what do you think of this ecosystem? How can you help? What have been the changes? No plugs. So the challenge, and very often we find sponsors trying to push us towards it. We lose a few customers in the process, and we are kind of, okay, that is not attrition. By the way, they go, they come back. That's why we've got 100% repeat business. The other challenge is in finding people to actually execute the business. For example, we hold on to a lot of this business, and therefore scale does become a challenge. You can't put a typical editor to moderate this, okay, or to handle the content, because very likely a typical my generation editor would not let the sponsor speak. Okay. If you put a branded content editor, he will open it out and mess it up for the CEO of that bank. That guy is never going to kind of come back to you. But the idea is to understand how to bring value each day. What keeps me alive. I'm not the oldest in this company. I think I'm the second oldest or third oldest or whatever. But what keeps me alive and energetic is the fact that every single day, every single customer, you're looking at a new solution. And that's why it's called custom. It is not that, the other thing that happens is if something becomes packaged. So, RTs now, right now, from what we were charging earlier, we are literally getting offers of 40% of what we used to charge. So, no, you reinvent the model, you make it more exciting, you keep on customizing. So, pricing is not a challenge because we don't go below a certain price, but you cannot commoditize it. What's exciting, what keeps us alive every day is a new solution, is a new way of doing things. It's a new way of connecting. The whole thing, the whole business hinges around connecting your customer to their customer, which means understanding your customer's product, understanding, at times we even go back. So the customer says, I want to connect with these 10 companies. Our intelligence tells us, having been in the space, that these 10 companies don't have the budget. So even if the guy goes into the funnel and pipeline, dhanda nahi hona hai at the end of the day. So we kind of tell them, they lean back on us. It's about understanding the whole ecosystem and providing value. People will always remain a challenge. Okay, so I take on a lot myself. I lean on him saying that I can't have, right now we've been talking of building another different team. I started the process yesterday of recruitment, the first step at least, who can balance the whole thing. Because today, if you sell your soul, you're playing with your core audience, and you exist because of your core audience. Okay, and if you don't sell your soul, which is what we do, the sponsor initially will come in, leave, but kind of comes back. The connect business is large. At Engage, we do right from simple lead generation, which is some content marketing, LinkedIn pe campaign chala diya, then our callers kind of follow up, all the way to engaging with chairman, presidents, co-founders, and that's the business model. Very happy to say that from where we were, 2 projects a month, and the contribution that it used to do to Businessworld's main kitty. That project, like I said, right now at 14 projects, at times we are running 18, 19 projects. Even the percentage contribution to the main kitty has gone up significantly. Also, guys, at the end of the day, last thing to say, it's a good margin business. It's a very, very good margin business, as long as you can keep on innovating, keep on doing things differently. The minute you get commoditized, you get compared to 10 guys, people follow you very fast. They get to know, because your customers go and say, yaar, wo Businessworld to ye kar raha hai. Sir, acha, theek hai, wo 6 lakh le raha hai, main 4 lakh mein karunga. Wo 20 lakh le raha hai, main 12 lakh mein karunga. You have to keep on. It's a brain business. You have to keep on. And by the way, it's just not all thinking. Execution has to be flawless. I'll end by saying that, I've always said that Businessworld is a platform. Our job, I think he spoke about it, our job is to enable communities, bring them together, get them to shake hands, all of it. Currently, we are doing a series, I will name the customer, SAP, and moment of pride for SAP Concur. They're an expense management company. We've been doing a lot of work for them for 2.5 years since COVID. Basically, it's CFO level engagement. Management team changed there. Our business stopped. They're a regular monthly customer. We somehow got them back, and they kind of gave us the toughest project, which was to bring 30 CFOs to sit in the audience. C-level, by the way, audience mein nahi baithta. They want to sit on this side. We curated our content. Okay, we sent it to them. Some godfathers in the company abroad who looked at it and said, yeah, Businessworld is the only one that can pull this off. Lovely concept. Let's go with it. We were nervous till the last minute. We've done 2 out of 3. In Bombay, okay, we got the turnout, and we had 5, I think, CFOs of large Tata companies, evening event, 3 CFOs of an Adani company. So out of 30, we had huge, giant CFOs actually sitting on that side. I haven't seen it, okay? Over dinner, cocktails, a lot of them came and thanked us. So we thought we had hit a sixer, okay? And, some people came and said, by the way, you do a lot of personalization. So disclosure, I have multiple mail IDs. All of them are not controlled by me. Personalized mails go. These are within wish lists, not mass. So a lot of people came and said that, and I came back bragging to Anurag saying, man, what a show. We had 30 guys sitting there. People loved it. One guy actually came and said, Hoshie, the next time a mail comes from you, ask your guy not to call me. CFO of a large insurance company. And I said, why? He said, I'll come myself. I understand what you are kind of doing. And then 3, 4, 5 guys said, we'll come. So, I came back very proud saying, boss, this is it. It's done. We did the event in Bangalore. Okay. I don't know whether I'm emotional or not. My family says I'm emotional. But something that happened there got tears in my eyes. I kept on saying we are enablers. Okay. We enable communities. We give information for communities to grow, companies to grow, businesses to grow, industries to grow, and people's careers to grow. This particular thing was the journey from CFO to CEO. So one person got up, one lady got up after we do an open session. I walk around after the speakers and take feedback. So one lady got up and said, and she bowed to the speaker. Okay. And the guy was a difficult speaker. It got him smiling because when I was doing my opening session, he sat like this. And then I had to look at, and there was no, I had to, you know who I'm talking about. And I thought, my jokes weren't good or whatever. So I kept looking around for other people. And then I realized this guy was just like that. Speaker after me had a great sense of humor, but he just sat like that. But this opened him out. So one lady, bowed to me and said, sir, I had confusion in my mind. I was a CFO. I've been moved up because the co-founder quit. I didn't know which way to go. But today you have got clarity in my life. And decision taken, I will stay. Another guy got up and said, I've been thinking of it for a very long time. And by the way, CFO to CEO concept came out of our head because we were doing we would have done 100 CFO engagements through COVID. Another guy came and said, thank you, Businessworld. You guys have got clarity in my mind. I commit in front of this, and there also we had about 30 odd people. I commit in front of the entire room that I will tomorrow speak to the board and start with a small P&L. Okay, I will not take on one of the large businesses, but you have set a path for me. So, we told them, our speakers told them, you don't straight away become CEO. You have. Another guy puts his hand up and says, I'm committing in front of this audience. Anyone can call me tomorrow. I'm also approaching the board to do it. I have to. When I got my chance, I went and said, this is like 56 inch ki chhati. I am emotional. Can we guys use you as endorsement? Because what we set out to do was actually done. Okay, so you have to again see how your content has to be sticky, but how your content makes sense. Don't kick me, I'll just go. Okay, how the content makes sense to everyone. And I must tell you, moment of pride, every time we deliver, which we try and do on every project, we feel good. So it's just not about making money, growing the business, all of it. It's about actually enabling ecosystems. So, at this age, you want to change the world, you want to do different things. This helps, changing what little we kind of do. Thank you. Happy to questions. My ID is hoshie@businessworld.in. I have to leave. I've got 14 projects to work on, hoshie@businessworld.in. So just please feel free to send questions. You guys have been a wonderful audience. Sorry, I wasn't as good as her. Not even any of the moves that she made, but I hope I was able to bring value. Thanks.